I'm recording this video specifically as a potential response to future criticisms of content that I enjoy. Because I enjoy the content that I enjoy for reasons of personal affirmation, and not necessarily for the affirmation or even the promotion of any other channels. That's subject to the whims of the free market and exchange of ideas, as replicable and demonstrable by the power of any arguments for them. Now, I believe that arguments should stand to reason against the test of time based on their scaled proportionary sort of explanatory factor, as well as their plus the constant of actual communication. You could have a mastery level theory of theoretical contribution. Your technical mechanical theory could be 99.99% accurate, arbitrarily approaching close to zero. But because, you are a finite being, you're not able to completely articulate exactly what you want at exactly the time that you want it, because you're not aware of any minor plot hole that doesn't even exist yet. You have an arbitrarily increasing value of pissing somebody off because you said the wrong thing. In regards to Smite, I do believe that they have a scaled factor of fun, relatively speaking, based on your age and the age of the metagame. It's a complex factor. I already narrated the theory, but all that stuff's boring now, so I'm just gonna say that imagine me in the role of Scumsanao with these arguments. Now, Scumsanao was an inevitable conclusion of a game like Smite, because it's the premise that people need to be able to hit the ground running and adapt to the role that they see. So if someone sees a samurai warrior, they want to feel like a samurai warrior. And if they're told that samurai warrior is a storm god who's murdered people in his path and has already given an earlier god a weapon, so we want to see, an increase in power. We want to see that. We want to feel that. So that's what Scumsanao does. That's what he represents. And such that his powers get scaled up and down is only relatively speaking, of course, to the popularity of the player base, of the memes that he can reproduce. Like, if you want to imagine me as Scumsanao, like you want a black guy Scumsanao, you just have a long pipe instead of the samurai blade. And then you just have me speaking rationally like Neil deGrasse Tyson, or Trolley if you want, the way Scumsanao says block, parry, like in the samurai form, I think the steel samurai form. You could just have me, your argument is invalid and you're weak. Your arguments are invalid and your defenses are warred. The enemy's gate is down, just sci-fi references of all kind. Because, I'm Scumsanao sometimes. And that's how you play Smite. You play for your own personal enjoyment. Sometimes in Assault, to the vexation of a lot of my friends and stuff, when I go in Assault, I initiate by jumping up and down, because I know that the player base of Smite is a lot of people that are just starting, or maybe even young people who are only here for the memes. They heard cool gods, they heard they're from a friend, whatever. So if they see somebody start jumping, they know. I jokingly call that meme peace in the land of Asgard. And it's like eventually someone draws first blood, someone attacks first. But if I'm a god like Sun Wukong, or if I have relatively decent awareness of myself and position with respect to my ability to get out of a jam, which is basically the method and behind the madness of the Monkey King, I'm reasonably aware of my positioning and the ability of the enemy team to CC chain me to oblivion, my access to my CC immune ults if I have one, etc. So I'm leveraging my own ability to play the game against other people's ability to play the game, and hedging the bets that I'm going to be here to have fun and I'm going to be here to grind. And it's always a pain, but it's a pain for the glory, and it's always a glory in the name of Smite. So I just want to make that clear to any and all observers that I do enjoy Smite from time to time. If comments or content that you find objectionable and I appreciate, or that I find objectionable that you appreciate, I don't really give a shit. No one should give a shit, except that it makes everyone better off. All right, so just take a deep breath, enjoy the content that you like. I'm not going to try to justify any particular examples. All I'm going to say is that one time, he proved that Hercules was objectively OP back in the days of 110% scaling by standing in 5 Anubis ults. But, that's a topic for another Stone of Gaia meta. You know what I mean? No one will be able to understand that. No one will be able to get that. Like, oh, but what about when he said this? It's like, who gives a shit? That has nothing to do with the argument that I proposed here. But, if your biomechanical argument is good, it's valid, then it's fine.